Welcome to our Dungeons & Dragons session, gentlemen. Today you'll embark on an adventure to recover the Arcane Constitution, a powerful artifact that can help bring balance to the realm. As you all sit in the Goblet of Freedom Tavern, you hear a rumor about the artifact's location. A mysterious cloaked figure approaches the table and says, "Greetings, brave adventurers. I hear you seek the Arcane Constitution. I can guide you on your quest, but first, you must prove your worth. Are you ready?"
I'm always ready. I've got the best spells, the most powerful magic. People love my magic. Everybody says I'm the best wizard.
Donald, it's not always about being the best. Sometimes it's about working together in a team.
That's right, Barack. We've got the experience and the grit. Count me in, folks.
All right, gentlemen, before we go any further, I'd like each of you to describe your characters in more detail. Remember, we want the audience to have a vivid image of our heroes. Let's start with you, Donald.
My character, Barnabas, is a fantastic wizard, the best you've ever seen. He's got the most luxurious robes, gold trim, of course. His staff is adorned with the finest gems, and his hair, well, it's absolutely perfect. Nobody has ever seen a more magnificent wizard.
Thank you, Donald. How about you, Barack? Tell us about Thalon.
Thalon is a half-elf ranger who brings people together. He's got a calm and confident demeanor. He wears practical yet stylish leather armor and wields a longbow with precision. His half-elf heritage is evident in his slightly pointed ears and his keen sense of diplomacy.
Nicely done, Barack. Joe, what can you tell us about Gruff?
Well, Gruff is a stout, no-nonsense dwarf fighter with a heart of gold. He's got a big, bushy white beard, and he's seen his fair share of battles. His armor has a few dents, but that just shows his experience. He wields a trusty battle axe that he calls Scranton Smasher.
Great description, Joe. George, let's hear about Farnham.
Farnham is a spry halfling rogue with a mischievous grin. He's got sandy brown hair, and he's always ready with a joke or a clever trick. He wears dark leather armor for sneaking around, and he's got a collection of daggers for getting out of sticky situations.
Thanks, George. And finally, Bill, tell us about Caden.
Well, Caden is a charming human bard with a silver tongue and a love for music. He's got a mop of wavy gray hair and a twinkle in his eye. He wears colorful clothing and carries a magical saxophone that he plays to inspire his allies and enchant his foes.
Wonderful, gentlemen. Now that we have a clear image of our heroes, let's continue the adventure to recover the Arcane Constitution. Your first task is to retrieve the Orb of Truth from the Crypt of Riddles. It's located to the north of the village. What do you do?
I suggest we head north, but cautiously. I'll use my ranger skills to look for tracks and dangers along the way.
Thalon, roll for perception. Thalon, you're so busy giving a motivational speech that you don't notice the muddy tracks leading away from the village.
Typical. All right, folks, follow me. I have a tremendous sense of direction. People always tell me I'm like a compass.
Donald, maybe we should listen to Farnham. He seems to have a better grasp of our surroundings.
Look, folks, back in my day, we didn't have fancy maps. We just followed our instincts.
I appreciate the vote of confidence, Barack. Let's see if we're going the right way.
Farnham, roll for survival. Farnham, you realize you're heading south, not north. The group stops and debates which way to go.
Fake news, I'm telling you, we're going the right way.
Donald, can't you see that we need to work together? Let's follow the tracks and see where they lead us.
Yeah, Donnie, we're all in this together. Let's trust each other and follow the tracks.
I say we follow the tracks, but I'll play a catchy tune to lift everyone's spirits.
Caden, roll for performance. Caden's music fills the air, and the group finally decides to follow the tracks north. As you make your way north, you come across a band of goblins blocking your path. What do you do?
I'll sneak around and try to pickpocket the goblin leader. Maybe we can find something useful.
Typical George, always trying to steal something.
Now, Donald, we all have our unique skills. Let's give George a chance.
Farnham, roll a stealth check. Farnham successfully sneaks around the goblins and attempts to steal from the goblin leader. Farnham, make a sleight of hand check. Farnham steals a small key from the goblin leader. The goblins haven't noticed you yet.
Fine, but watch this. I'll cast sleep on the goblins and we can pass without a fight.
The goblins fail their will save.
Nice job, Donnie. See, we can all contribute when we work together.
The goblins are fast asleep and you continue on your way. Soon you reach the Crypt of Riddles. The door is locked, but you have the key. Do you enter?
I'll open the door and lead the way with my trusty axe at the ready.
The group enters the crypt and encounters a series of riddles and puzzles.
I'll use my bardic knowledge and charm to solve the riddles and keep our spirits high.
And if we get stuck, I can always build a wall around the riddle. People love my walls.
Let's focus on solving the riddles, Donald. We're almost there.
As you enter the crypt, you find yourselves in a dimly lit chamber with a massive stone door. The door has an inscription in an ancient language posing a riddle. Your challenge is to solve the riddle and the door will open. The inscription reads, I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with the wind. What am I?
This one seems like it could be an echo.
Thalon, you are correct. The riddle's answer is echo. The stone door grinds open, revealing a second chamber with another door and a new riddle. The next inscription reads, the more you take, the more you leave behind. What am I?
This one's a bit tricky, but I reckon the answer is footsteps.
Farnham, you are correct. The answer to the second riddle is footsteps. The stone door opens, and you enter the third chamber, where you are met with the final riddle.
You know, riddles sure have a way of keeping you on your toes. It's like trying to find a needle in a haystack, except the haystack is made of words and the needle, well, it's still pretty sharp when you find it.
You know, this whole riddle business reminds me of a story my old pal Corn Pop used to tell. There was this guy, you see, and he had a thingamajig. Now, this thingamajig was special because, well, I don't quite remember why it was special, but it had something to do with a whatchamacallit. Anyway, the moral of the story is teamwork. Yeah, that's it. Teamwork makes the dream work, folks.
Oh, Gruff, that story was just tremendous, really tremendous, just like your memory. But hey, we'll take all the inspiration we can get. I'm sure Corn Pop would be proud, even if we can't quite remember what the thingamajig was for.
Riddles do have a way of making us think more deeply, and sometimes we surprise ourselves with what we discover. It's all part of the adventure, and I'm glad we're on this journey together.
You know, folks, I've been on many adventures in my time, but I've got to say this one has been the most fun. We've got a little bit of everything here, riddles, jokes, and even the occasional thingamajig. It just goes to show that it's not just the destination, it's the journey and the people you share it with that matter most. Caden pulls out his saxophone and begins playing an uplifting tune, filling the air with a sense of camaraderie and joy.
All right, adventurers, as much as I enjoy your banter and witnessing your camaraderie, let's not forget the task at hand. The third inscription reads, I am not alive, but I can grow. I don't have lungs, but I need air. I don't have a mouth, but water kills me. What am I?
I'm absolutely certain the answer is a sponge. Trust me, I know riddles. I'm the best at riddles.
Barnabas, your guess is incorrect. The answer is not sponge. The stone door remains closed, and the chamber starts to fill with a mysterious fog. Time is running out.
I believe the correct answer is fire.
Gruff, you are correct. The answer to the final riddle is fire. The stone door opens, revealing a hidden chamber.
Well, Barnabas, I reckon even the best of us can be wrong sometimes, but don't worry. That fog was almost as thick as your confidence.
Well, you know what they say. Thick skin is a trait of a great leader. And I am, without a doubt, the greatest leader in this group. So thank you for the compliment.
Inside the hidden chamber, there is a pedestal in the middle of the room. Resting on the pedestal is the Orb of Truth, guarded by a fierce skeletal warrior.
Hey, Barack, do you think this guy knows my buddy Corn Pop?
Joe, now's not the time for reminiscing.
Watch as I cast the most tremendous fireball spell ever seen.
Hold on, Donald. Roll for initiative. All right, Barack, you're up first. What do you do?
I aim my trusty longbow at the skeletal warrior and let an arrow fly.
Your arrow pierces the warrior's ribcage, causing it to stagger. The creature's bones rattle, but it remains standing, ready to retaliate. Donald, your turn.
I point my staff at the skeletal warrior and cast Firebolt.
Donald, your firebolt strikes the warrior's skull, leaving it charred and cracked. It's still standing, but it's beginning to show signs of wear. Joe, you're up.
I charge at the skeletal warrior, swinging my mighty great axe.
Joe, your great axe cleaves through the warrior's spine, sending bone fragments flying. It's barely holding together now. George, it's your turn.
I sneak up behind the warrior and try to deliver a precise strike with my daggers.
Farnham, roll a stealth check. The skeletal warrior fails to see you sneaking around him. Make an attack roll. George, your daggers find the gaps in the warrior's bones, causing it to stumble. It's on its last legs. Bill, your move.
I pull out my magical saxophone and play a captivating tune, casting hypnotic pattern to disorient the warrior.
The skeletal warrior fails its saving throw. Caden, your hypnotic pattern dazzles the warrior, and it seems momentarily disoriented. Now's your chance. The skeletal warrior, visibly weakened, tries to swing its massive sword at Gruff. The skeletal warrior's strike misses Gruff by a hair, leaving it open for a counterattack. Thylon, back to you.
I finish it off with another well-aimed arrow targeting its weakened skull.
Barak, your arrow shatters the skeletal warrior's skull, and the creature collapses into a pile of bones. The battle is won. With the skeletal warrior defeated, the path to the Orb of Truth is clear. The group, weary but victorious, approaches the orb, ready to claim it. And that is where we are going to end this one. Thank you for joining us in our first session. If you'd like to see more of our quest for the Arcane Constitution, then please like and subscribe for more presidential adventures. I'm Ben Shapiro, and I'll see you in the next episode.